So thank you for still being there. I know it's hot. That's good because we are going to talk about heat here. I don't know if you have kids. Well, I do. And that's why climate change is that important for me, because of their future. The fact with climate change is that not only it's controversial, but also it's lacking awareness. Because if you talk about it, it's very far away from people everyday life. So they don't see what will be the impact for them concretely. And I was struggling how to raise awareness. And then I was looking and looking and looking for a solution, and I thought, that is my change maker. Just look at the impact you could have on the internet. Every second you have almost 50,000 Google searches, 6,000 tweets. And then I thought, great, I am going to launch an awareness campaign about climate change. So last Friday I spent my night, I created a website, then I created a Facebook page, and I also created my Twitter account dedicated to that campaign. But then in the middle of the night, it struggled me. What if by trying to raise awareness about climate change, I was currently making it worse? What if I was using the most polluting industry here? Think about it. By 2020, the carbon emissions of data centers will be far more important than the one of the airline industry. And worse is, half of it will be coming from only cooling that data centers. So we are facing a paradox here. On one side, the data centers, the computing, they generate heat, but it's treated as a wasted byproduct, so they destroy it. And on the other hand, we are here in this room, and all the buildings here in Paris generating heat in a very expensive and polluting way. And that's where Qarnot computing comes in, because they want to introduce here the cloud high performance computing revolution.
Just need it. So, in order to tackle the issues she mentioned just before, actually, Qarnot computing creates one service, QWare, and one product, the QRaid, in order to have a smart and connected way to produce heat. So, for the QWare, it's actually a cloud computing service which is connecting the processors to the people who actually need it, the high-performance computing. And the QRaid, it's an electrical heating system, and the processors are inside. They have like 4 processors inside this electrical heater, and this is connected to internet. So how does it fit all together? You have a decentralization of the big data centers. You have big data centers, but thanks to Qarnot, you don't need it anymore. And you can have the processors inside a lot of buildings, thanks to QRaid. And actually QWare, which is the cloud computing service, is doing the link between the 2 demand side, the heating demand side, and the computing needs side. So the businesses, the institution, can actually have access to this computing service by paying 25 cents per CPU per hour. And on the other side, for the people who are like the customers of QRaid, they can rent this electrical heating system with the processors inside, and the electricity consumed by this electrical heater will be paid back by Qarnot. Talking about the financials, you have for the household, for example, you have a 100 meters apartment, and the electricity bill can be, the cost saving you can have can be from 660 euro to 1,770 euro. And for the businesses, you don't have the data center downtime, which can cost a lot of money, like thousands of euro for minutes. and the average cost of the proposition of Qarnot computing to access to the HPC is 25 cents, which is twice and 3 times cheaper than the competitors.
So not only we think this is a very innovative business model, it happens to be a very interesting one both for people and planet. If you look at the environmental impact, this proposal enables to decrease the carbon footprint by 78% as compared of the usual use of a data center and the heaters. How do they manage to do this? First, you don't cool the data centers anymore. And the heat is directly spread into the buildings, and as you know, that avoids the heat loss during the transportation. The second very positive impact is for people. Not only it enables to lower the price, and there we have a partnership that has been introduced with the social housing department in Paris, which is the RIVP, to renovate about 100 apartments as a pilot. But as they also do good for research institutes. How did they manage to do this? They had an issue with the seasonality, because of course you have to heat during the winter more, and then you need more computing. And that's how they manage it. They offer all this green light green you can see, to the research institutes for them to compute more and to enable to reach the temperature requested by the users. So, at the conclusion, we definitely think this is a JUGAD innovation, and it has been described as such by Nevi Raju. Why? Because first, this is frugal. Instead of 2 services, you have 1. It's agile because it will adapt to the client needs, and it's inclusive because of the benefits for both the social housings and the research institutes. Thank you.